Your dog caused serious injury.
Viciously attacking him.
It's not true, Your Honor.
He said, "Your dog barks a lot, that's why my dog attacked him."
It wasn't my fault or my dog's fault.
I don't want you to play with me. You lie to me once, I believe nothing else.
This is Judy Justice. Grecia and Juan Galvan are suing their neighbor, Ruben Alonso, for vet bills after their dog was attacked by Ruben's dog.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, please.
Hello, Judge. Case 3060, Galvan versus Alonso.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Miss Galvin, that's your dog. Your dog's name is
Yogi.
Yogi. And this is your dad.
Correct.
Miss Galvin, you and Mr. Alonso are neighbors.
Correct.
He lives across the street from you?
No, so he's actually 2 doors over to the left. So his house is the green one on the right side, and mine is the yellow on the left.
Pink house is in between. How long have you lived in your house?
About 15 years now.
And your dog is 13.
Yes.
And Mr. Alonso, how long have you lived in your house?
7 years
Who do you live there with?
with my wife and my kids.
How old are your children?
My oldest ones are 17 years old, and my youngest son, Jason Alonso, he's 24 years old.
He lives at home.
Yes.
And you have a dog.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of dog do you have?
He's an American Bully.
American Bully is a combination pit bull and what?
Between a pit bull and an English bulldog.
A male dog?
Yeah, male dog.
How old is he?
He's 4 years old.
How long have you had him?
4 years.
How much does he weigh?
70 pounds.
And his name?
Max.
It is your claim, Miss Galvin, that your neighbor, Mr. Alonso's dog, bit and severely injured yours,
Correct.
also causing some injury to your dad.
Yeah.
Mr. Alonso says that his dog was on a leash, your dog was not, and whatever fight or scrapping the dog has and the injuries to your dog were therefore not his responsibility because
That's
your
not
dog
true,
was
Your
off
Honor.
leash. That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this incident happened when, Miss Galvin?
On the morning of April 28th at 4:30 in the morning.
4:30 in the morning.
Correct, yeah.
What was everybody doing up 4:30 in the morning?
I work at 5 a.m., so I was heading out to work.
And what was your father doing up at that hour?
He too works at the same company, so we carpool together, and he was walking my dog for me.
Would you ask Mr. Galvin to tell me what happened at about 5 o'clock on April 28th of this year when
Estaba caminando mi perro
I was walking my dog.
en el momento en que abrí el gate, estaba abriendo el gate.
At the moment that I opened the gate, I was opening the gate.
could you walk up to the photograph and show me where you were?
Aquí.
You were over there.
Estaba abriendo el gate.
I was opening the gate.
Oí pasos corriendo. Cuando volteé, miré al perro del señor.
I heard steps of something running. When I turned, it was the man's dog
Where was the dog coming from?
De aquí.
from here.
Could you see Mr. Alonso?
No.
No.
Just the dog.
It wasn't true.
Perro cuando ya
Shh, Mr. Alonso, you're going to have a chance to tell me your version of the events.
miré al perro cuando ya estaba encima de nosotros.
I saw the dog when it was already on top of us.
Volteé y me golpeó en las piernas con el cuerpo.
I turned and it hit my legs with its body.
Me tambaleó y quedé recargado en el gate.
It made me tumble and I leaned against the gate.
Ya cuando reaccioné, el perro ya estaba atacando a mi perro de la espalda.
When I came to, it was attacking my dog on its back.
Fuertísimo. Lo movía feo.
Very harshly. It was shaking it badly.
Traté de estarlo auxiliando, quitarlo.
Step back now so that... Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Traté de estarlo sacando. Llegó mi hija a auxiliarme
I tried to help and my daughter came to help.
y estuvimos forcejeando.
And we were struggling.
Stop one moment. Miss Galvin, at what point did you observe this interaction between your dog and Max?
Instantly. I was walking out of my house, and I have full visual of my entire driveway, and I immediately saw when my dog started crying for help. The defendant's dog, Max, was mauling him and viciously attacking him.
What I want to know is when you came out of your house, because you didn't see how it started, you saw that Max was on your dog at that point. Did you see Mr. Alonso?
No.
I would like you to walk over. Your father will take him. Just walk over there and show me where you were when you came out and where your dad was with your dog?
Our front door is right about here, and I was walking out, and my father was here.
Right on the corner near the...
Opening the gate, correct.
Okay, now you can go back. Miss Galvin, at what point did you see Mr. Alonso, if at all, that day?
After a few seconds of us trying to separate the two dogs, he did come out and try to,
So you saw him coming?
more or less.
And what happened when he got to where the two dogs were?
Well, the dog was unleashed and without a collar, so the defendant grabbed his back legs and attempted to separate the two.
Was he successful?
At the time, yes.
So Mr. Alonso grabbed his dog's back legs and pulled him off yours.
Correct, yeah.
And then what did he do?
At that instance, my father picked my dog up through his leash, almost strangling him, to put him on the car that was outside for his safety. The dog, Max, then lunged at my father. I intervened by kicking for his safety, and I got bit in my shoe.
It's not true, Your Honor.
When you say you got bit by Max.
Correct.
Did it go through your shoe?
No,
But
I did get bit, and I felt it.
okay, but it didn't pierce your skin.
No, my main concern was my dog's damages.
Okay. And Mr. Alonso was finally able to pull his dog off yours?
Correct.
And
He
off
actually
you?
got dragged on the cement and
Who
the
did?
sidewalk. Mr. Alonso. His dog is very, very strong.
Would you show me, go back to there and show me, Miss Galvin, when you say Mr. Alonso got dragged, show me where. I saw where the incident took place in the corner.
Correct.
And where did his dog drag him? I want to tell you something. And I also want to tell you to be very careful what you tell me.
Okay.
Very careful.
Grecia and Juan Galvan claimed their neighbor, Ruben Alonso, owes for vet bills after Ruben's dog attacked their dog. Ruben says his dog was the one attacked.
Where did his dog drag him?
So everything started here. We eventually tried separating the dogs towards this way. Mr. Alonso was dragged from this area down. The car was parked here, so we managed to put the dog on top of the car, and Mr. Alonso was on the floor wrestling his dog to control him.
You took your dog to the vet?
Immediately, yes.
You have the vet report and bill?
I do.
May I see it, please? Kevin?
Thank you.
So your vet bills look in total to be about $4,600.
About 58, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I may have missed one.
He suffered a level 4 bite wound, and from
He
the
was
accident-
very seriously injured. There's no question. He was very seriously injured, spent a long time in the hospital. Okay, version of what happened.
The date on April 28, what happened, I was walking my dog with the leash. That's what I usually do every day before I go to work.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Don't speak.
That's what I usually do.
I don't care. Mr. Alonso, I
Yes.
want you to understand something.
Yes.
I don't care what you usually do.
Okay.
And there are certain things that are common sense.
All right.
Do you understand?
Yes. Okay, I was on April 28, I was walking my dog on a leash.
And I also want to tell you to be very careful what you tell me.
Okay.
Very careful.
April 28, I was walking my dog on a leash.
Show me where you were.
I was walking to the left, right here. That's my house on the green.
I know where your house is.
Okay, I was walking to this when I noticed that the gate was open, and then when I was getting close by, her dog started coming out, barking to the sidewalk, biting my dog in the legs. Okay, biting my dog in the legs. Then when I start pulling out my dog from their dog, that's when Juan and Grecia came out. So they start grabbing their dog too. Okay, Grecia even apologized after the dog to the vet. And then later on, when she received the bill, she wanted me to pay her back.
Your
I said,
Honor.
Shh, shh, shh.
I said I wasn't gonna pay her back because it wasn't my fault or my dog's fault that they leave the gate open and their dog unattended.
I want to tell you some questions. I get answers to questions, and then I have to say to myself, these two people, they were going to work at 4:30 in the morning. You were out at the same hour. Do you work at that hour?
ma'am. I was about to go to work too. That's what I was taking my dog out.
There are other adults in the house.
Yes, I have 2 more.
Okay, they were all sleeping at 4:30 in the morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you opened your door, and you have to understand, sir, I am particularly unabashedly sensitive to pit bulls who are unleashed or not watched. Your dog is 4 years old. I don't know. I assume you have had no prior incident with your dog.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
That's not true.
We'll get to it. Last article, I keep them in my desk drawer, about pit bulls was a baby, a 3-month-old baby, left alone for a second with a pit bull. The pit bull gnawed off his hands. That was last week. So you have to understand that I'm particularly sensitive to a large animal that's capable of causing serious injury, being unattended for a second. You answered my question very quickly whether your dog Max had had any prior incidents. You said no. Plaintiff seems to say that that's not true, unless you want to tell me about it first.
I never noticed or nothing. Nobody informed me about another accident or nothing.
Your answer is you don't know about a prior incident with your dog.
Yes, I don't.
Is that
know
right?
about it. Yeah.
Why don't you tell me what you know?
First things first, I have an animal control report that proves his statement of his leashed dog incorrect.
May I see it, please?
This is the second attack. Sorry about that.
Well, this recites your version of the events.
Correct.
And the report indicates you're Reuben, is that correct?
Yes.
That you ran out to the scene to try to separate your dogs. Did you speak to animal control?
Yes, I did.
You spoke to them on what date?
2 days after.
May 1st.
Yes.
So you spoke to them.
Yes.
Then this write-up incorporates what you told them, which is consistent with what Ms. Galvin testified to, sir. Okay, I don't know where you are showing me that this was not the first instance.
So the first instance was about a little bit over, and he didn't break skin. So animal control refused to create an actual incident report.
Tell me when that was. That was about a year ago.
Yes, so it was actually my mother who was walking my dog. I was out of state at the time. I have a witness statement if that helps for anything. But my mother was walking the dog where his dog was.
You were not there.
No, but.
Then I can't take that evidence because it's hearsay.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay, I understand. The second attack was on a 10-year-old German Shepherd walking in front of our house, walking on a leash by his owner. And again, the dog was out loose, without a leash or collar, where he attacked the German Shepherd.
Was that within
That was
the year?
in late January, yeah.
Late January of this year.
Only 5-6 months ago.
Did you observe that?
I did. I assisted in separating and keeping the German Shepherd safe.
Who came out of the Alonso house to retrieve their dog? Was it Mr. Alonso or his son or one of the other children?
I think it was his younger daughter.
What's your younger daughter's name?
No, I got two. They're twins. So I don't know which one she's talking about. Because I never.
Well, you know them both, right?
Yeah, I know them both,
Just a
but,
second. Listen to me carefully.
Okay.
You know them both. Mr. Alonso, I don't want you to play with me.
I'm not playing with you, Your Honor.
So there's no question that if anything happened with a German Shepherd and one of your twins who were not bay would have told you about it.
I haven't heard from nothing from that.
Really?
He was
accident,
involved,
no
Your Honor.
nothing.
What?
I spoke to him about the situation just days after the last incident with him. I brought the German Shepherd and the owner, and
Where's the proof?
Now it's documented that your dog has attacked at least once. And if you let that dog or any of your other dogs out, they're going to take that dog and destroy it. You do know that.
Yes, we do.
And that will be your fault.
Grecia and Juan Galvan have accused their neighbor, Ruben Alonso, of owing for vet bills after his dog attacked their dog. Ruben claims their dog was off-leash and started the fight.
Just a second.
he said, "Your dog barks a lot. That's why my dog attacked him." Your Honor, if my dog knew how to talk, we wouldn't be here.
Just a second. When you say that after this attack on your dog, the serious one,
Correct, yeah.
you brought the German Shepherd. Whose German Shepherd was it?
Somebody that lives in our community.
And the owner?
Yes,
To see Mr. Alonso.
correct. Because Mr. Alonso said that my dog was barking too much.
You bring the German Shepherd, your dog, Yogi, is at the vet.
No, this is a few days post-op. My dog was recovering inside, indoors.
Okay, so your dog is indoors, but wasn't with you when you went to confront Mr.
Correct.
Alonso with the German Shepherd?
Yes.
And the owner of the German Shepherd?
Correct.
Okay, and can you tell me what Mr. Alonso said during that confrontation about the German Shepherd? Not your dog. What did he say about the German Shepherd?
Nothing. His demeanor was very aggressive. He turned, he was up putting on some cameras in his home. He turned, did not say a word, and turned back around. And his son was there as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Stand up. Over there, please. Your first name?
Jason.
Jason. Do you remember Miss Galvin coming to the house? Your father was there. She was there with a German Shepherd and its owner. That's a yes or a no?
Yes.
Okay. Were you close enough to hear the conversation? That's a yes or a no?
Yes.
Did you hear the conversation about your dog at some point having a confrontation with the German Shepherd?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Tell me what you heard.
The plaintiff ended up bringing the owner of the dog over, and he...
The owner
he
of the
didn't-
Shepherd.
Yeah, the owner of the Shepherd. And he said he didn't want to start no problems or nothing.
He didn't want to.
He didn't want to start any problems.
Who said? The owner of the
The
Shepherd.
owner of the Shepherd.
The owner of the Shepherd said, I
Said
don't.
it was an accident.
I want to know, before he said that, what was said about Max attacking the Shepherd?
The plaintiff was claiming that...
Plaintiff said
that Max bit the German Shepherd.
Okay, and the German Shepherd and the German Shepherd's owner was there.
Correct.
What did your father say?
He was just quiet during the instance.
Just a second. So he said nothing.
Correct.
Did you say anything?
At the current moment, I was actually holding the ladder stand because he was on a 10-foot ladder installing cameras. That is very unsafe for me to try
Did
to
he?
tell him anything.
Just a second. Did he come down from the cameras?
He was still installing the cameras as they came up.
Well, now there are two people there. One person there with a dog that he knows has been seriously injured by his dog, and a German Shepherd who I'm absolutely positive that one of your sisters discussed with him had an incident some months before. Don't say no, because I have to tell you something. You lied to me once. You lied to me once, sir.
That accident wasn't nobody said nothing to me about it. That's why I didn't talk to the guy, because I don't know if she...
Well, you talked to her. What I'm telling you, Mr. Alonso, is you lied to me once. I believe nothing else. Certain things are common sense. I have children. I've had dogs. If one of my dogs was involved in an incident and in making the situation better, when my parent came home from work, I would say, let me tell you what happened. And they would tell you. Or they would tell their older brother what happened. And the older brother might tell you. But somebody would tell you.
It wasn't brought to my attention.
Wasn't brought to your attention. I'm going to bring something to your attention. Do you have homeowners insurance? Do you own your house?
I don't own a house. I rent a house.
You rent the house. Do you have renter's insurance?
Yes.
Does the renter's insurance that you have know that you have not a French bulldog? Because that's what it says here. Somebody identified your dog as a French bulldog. French bulldog is different from a bully.
I have a license that says it's not even a pit bull. It's an American bully.
It's classified in its own breed.
I actually know what an American bully is. It's not a French bulldog. Do you have a French bulldog?
We do not.
Your Honor, he has 3 in his garage at the time. And sometimes when he illegally breeds, he has 7 or 8 at a time.
It's not illegal.
Not true.
We got papers to prove that.
We're licensed breeders, Your Honor. All of our dogs are purple ribbon UKC show dogs.
That doesn't make this dog any less vicious.
Correct.
Do you understand?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Dog caused serious injury, and either your father is just in a total state of denial or he hasn't been introduced to the truth. The judgment for them for the full amount of their vet bills. Now it's documented that your dog has attacked at least once. And if you let that dog or any of your other dogs out, they're going to take that dog and destroy it. You do know that.
Yes, we do.
And that will be your fault because you're the owner and the responsible person to make sure that a dog that is capable of serious physical injury doesn't injure a person or another animal. That's your responsibility and any other adult who lives in the house. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $6,500. We're done. Thank you.
This court is adjourned.
Taking the decision was bad. I mean, they tried to consider my dog a pit bull. He's not a pit bull.
She was just, she followed the truth, and that's all we could have asked for.
Their dog got out and started biting my dog, so my dog defended himself.
Mentira, porque él nunca lo miré, el perro apareció de repente sin collar, sin correa, y fue cuando nos empezó a tocar al perro y a mí.
It's a lie. He came and there was never a leash, neither a collar. And that's when the dog started attacking the dog and myself.
Probably set up another fence in front of our yard, probably establish something a little.
Life, I mean, that's my companion, my bud, my best friend, and to see him in pain for like weeks after was even equally as traumatic as the incident itself.
I definitely would say it'd be avoided. We will be taking precautions going forward, make sure this doesn't happen again.
The truth always comes to light.
The stars were still visible in the early morning sky over a quiet neighborhood where the houses stood as silent witnesses to the passing of time. It was exactly 4:30 in the morning on the 28th of April. While most of the world remained tucked away in the warmth of their blankets, the Galvin household was already humming with the quiet energy of a workday routine. Grecia Galvin and her father, Juan Galvin, shared more than just a home and a family name. They shared a commitment to their work and a deep affection for their longtime companion, a dog named Yogi. Yogi was a gentle soul, 13 years old, with silver fur around his muzzle that spoke of a decade and 3 years of loyalty and friendship. On this particular morning, as they prepared to head to their jobs at 5 in the morning, Juan took the leash to give Yogi his early walk. They had lived in this yellow house for 15 years, and the path was as familiar as the back of his hand. However, the peace of the morning was about to be shattered in a way that would bring two families into a room of justice. This was a place where facts were untangled from emotions. The case numbered 3060 was called to order. As the bailiff commanded everyone to rise, the heavy doors of the Hall of Justice closed, leaving the noise of the outside world behind. Grecia Galvin and Juan Galvin stood on one side, their faces etched with the fatigue of a long struggle. On the other side stood Ruben Alonso and his son Jason Alonso. Judge Judy looked at the participants with a keen eye. She began by establishing the basic facts of their lives as neighbors. Ruben Alonso lived just 2 doors away in a greenhouse, having moved there 7 years ago with his wife and children. Among his family was his 24-year-old son Jason and his younger children, including 17-year-old twins. The Alonsos also had a dog. An American bully named Max. Max was a powerful animal. For years old, weighing 70 pounds, a blend of the strength of a pit bull and the sturdiness of an English bulldog. The conflict centered on what happened during those few frantic minutes at 4:30 in the morning. Juan Galvin described a moment he opened the gate of his driveway. He heard the sound of heavy paws running on the pavement. Before he could react, a large shadow collided with his legs, causing him to tumble against the gate. It was Max one described with a heavy heart how the younger, strong back, helpless against the force of the 70-pound animal. Grecia, who had been walking out of the house just moments behind her father, witnessed the scene. She saw her elderly dog crying for help and described the attack as vicious. She testified that Ruben Alonso eventually ran from his house, appearing without a leash or a collar for his dog. To separate the animals, Ruben had to grab Max by his back legs and pull him away. In the chaos, Juan lifted Yogi by his leash to place him safely on top of a car, but Max lunged again. Grecia intervened to protect her father, and in the struggle, the dog bit her shoe. While the skin was not pierced, the terror of the moment was real and lasting. The aftermath of the encounter left Yogi with severe injuries. The veterinary report showed a level 4 bite wound, and the total cost of the medical care reached $5,800. The bills told a story of pain and a long road to recovery for a dog who was already in his twilight years. When it was Ruben Alonso's turn to speak, he presented a different version of the morning. He claimed that he was walking Max on a leash, as he usually did before work. He stated that the Galvin's gate was open and that Yogi had come out barking and biting at Max's legs. Ruben insisted that the incident was not his fault. However, the pursuit of truth often requires looking beyond a single moment. Judge Judy, with her years of experience, looked for consistency and common sense. She questioned Ruben about his dog's history. While Ruben denied any prior incidents, Grecia presented evidence of other encounters. She spoke of an incident a year prior and another in late January of the same year involving a 10-year-old German Shepherd. She described how Max had been loose and attacked the other dog while its owner was walking on a leash. The atmosphere in the courtroom shifted when Jason Alonso, Ruben's son, was asked to testify. Jason recalled a day when Grecia had come to their house with the owner of the German Shepherd to discuss the attack. While Ruben claimed he knew nothing of such an event, Jason confirmed that he was present, holding a ladder for his father while they were installing security cameras. This testimony revealed a crack in Ruben's defense. The judge noted that if a family dog is involved in a serious incident, it is common sense that the family members would discuss it. Judge Judy spoke with great passion about the responsibility of pet ownership. She emphasized that owning a powerful animal requires a high level of diligence. To have a dog capable of causing serious physical injury means one must be a responsible guardian to ensure. She expressed her deep concern for situations where large animals are left unattended, even for a second, noting that the consequences can be life-altering. The judge reached her decision based on the evidence and the testimony provided. She found that the version of events presented by the Galvins was more credible. She pointed out that Ruben had not been truthful about his knowledge of his dog's prior behavior. A judgment was entered in favor of the plaintiffs for the full amount of the veterinary bills, totaling $6,500. As the court adjourned, the two families left with different perspectives. For Ruben Alonso, it was a hard lesson about the legal and moral responsibilities of a pet owner. He maintained that his dog was only defending himself, yet the legal record now held a documented instance of an attack. For the Galvins, the verdict was a relief, a recognition of the pain their beloved Yogi had endured. In the quiet moments after the trial, Grecia reflected on the bond she shared with Yogi. He had been her companion for more than half of her life, her best friend through many years of change. To see him in pain had been a traumatic experience, but the journey through the justice system had brought a sense of closure. They planned to take extra precautions, perhaps installing a more secure fence, to ensure that their home remained a sanctuary of dogs, and the families involved serves as a reminder that the truth eventually comes to light. It highlights the importance of honesty, the value of responsibility, and the deep emotional connection between humans and their animals. Justice, in this case, was not just about the money for the bills. It was about affirming the value of a 13-year-old dog's life and the right of every neighbor to feel safe in their own driveway at 4:30 in the morning. The lessons learned in that courtroom resonated beyond the walls of the building. They reminded everyone that choosing to bring a powerful animal into a home is a conscious choice that carries a lifetime of responsibility. It is a commitment to protect not only the pet, but also the community that surrounds it. As the sun set on the day of the trial, the yellow house and the green house stood, as they always had, but with a new understanding of the ties that bind neighbors together and the truths that keep them honest. The morning sun had not yet risen over the quiet suburban street, where the yellow house and the green house stood as silent witnesses to a long-standing neighborhood bond. Inside the hallowed halls of justice, the atmosphere was thick with the weight of responsibility and the pursuit of truth. The air carried a sense of gravity, for this was not merely a dispute over bills, but a testament to the love between humans and their loyal companions. The court was about to come to order. Fairness and sharp insight preceded her. The bailiff called out with a voice that commanded respect, asking everyone to rise. Judge Judy Justice entered the room, her presence a beacon of order in a world of conflicting narratives. She took her seat and looked down at the documents before her, ready to untangle the threads of a painful morning. This was case number 3060, the matter of Galvin versus Alonso. Grecia Galvin stood with her father, Juan Galvin. They were people of long standing in their community, having lived in their yellow home for 15 years. Beside them, in spirit, was Yogi, a small dog of 13 years who had been their faithful companion through more than half of Grecia's life. Across the aisle sat Ruben Alonso, a neighbor of 7 years who lived 2 doors down in the greenhouse. He was accompanied by his son, Jason Alonso, a young man of 24 years. Ruben shared his home with his wife and children, including 17-year-old twins and his youngest, who was 13. Their household was also home to Max, a powerful American bully weighing 70 pounds, a mix of English bulldog and pit bull traits for years of age. The judge began the proceedings by addressing the core of the conflict. It was a claim for significant veterinary bills after an incident that had led. The defense offered by Ruben Alonso was simple yet contested. He claimed his dog was on a leash while the neighbor's dog was not, suggesting that any resulting scrap was not his legal responsibility. The narrative shifted back to the morning of April 28th. The clock had struck 4:30 in the morning. It was an hour when most of the world was still draped in dreams, but the Galvin family was preparing for the day. Grecia and her father both worked at the same company, starting their shifts at 5 in the morning. As they carpooled together, the morning ritual included a walk for Yogi. Juan Galvin stepped forward to describe those early moments. He stood near the gate of their property, the cool morning air filling his lungs. As he opened the gate, the silence of the dawn was broken by the sound of rapid footsteps. Something was running toward them through the dim light. Before he could fully process the movement, a large shape emerged from the shadows. It was Max. The encounter was sudden and overwhelming. Juan described how the larger dog collided with his legs, causing him to tumble against the gate. When he regained his footing, he witnessed a scene that no pet owner should ever have to see. Max was over Yogi, and the smaller dog was crying out in a desperate plea for help. The struggle was intense, a chaotic moment of fear, and at that exact moment, her view of the driveway was clear. She saw her father struggling and her beloved dog in distress. She described the intervention as an instant reaction of love and protection. She saw Max, a dog she claimed was without a leash or a collar at that moment, engaged in a fierce attack. In the midst of the chaos, Ruben Alonso appeared, running from his greenhouse. He reached the scene and attempted to separate the animals by grabbing Max by his back legs. The sheer strength of the 70-pound animal was evident as Ruben was dragged across the cement and the sidewalk in his effort to regain control. Eventually, one was able to lift Yogi by his leash, placing him on top of a nearby car to ensure his safety. In the confusion, Grecia intervened to protect her father and felt the snap of jaws against her shoe, though fortunately, the leather held in her skin was not pierced. The aftermath was a blur of medical urgency. Yogi was rushed to the veterinarian immediately. The medical reports painted a somber picture of the damage. The small dog had suffered a level 4 bite wound, requiring extensive surgery and a long stay in the hospital. The total cost for his care reached $6,500, a testament to the severity of the injuries. When it was Ruben Alonso's turn to speak, he mainly insisted that he was walking Max on a leash, as was his daily habit before heading to work. He claimed that as he passed the yellow house, he noticed their gate was open and that Yogi had come barking onto the sidewalk, initiating the confrontation by biting Max on the legs. He argued that he should not be held responsible for an incident that occurred because a neighbor's dog was unattended. However, the judge looked for consistency and common sense. She questioned the likelihood of a 13-year-old dog initiating such a conflict with a much larger, younger animal. She also turned her attention to the history of the animals involved. While Ruben claimed he had no knowledge of any prior incidents involving Max, Grecia presented evidence to the contrary. She spoke of a second attack that had occurred only months earlier, in late January. A neighbor walking a 10-year-old German Shepherd on a leash had reportedly been accosted by Max, who was loose at the time. Grecia herself had assisted in separating the dogs during that incident. When questioned about this, Ruben remained silent, but his son, Jason, was called to testify. Jason Alonso stood before the court and confirmed that Grecia had indeed come to their house with the owner of the German Shepherd to discuss the matter. He recalled the conversation, noting that his father had been present. Jason admitted that the topic of Max biting the German Shepherd had been raised, though he claimed the other owner had expressed a desire not to start any problems. This testimony was a turning point. The judge observed that if such a significant event had occurred involving one of the family dogs, it was common sense that the information would have been shared among the members of the household. The realization that the truth had been obscured led to a stern reminder about the weight of a person's word in a court of law. The judge spoke with great passion about the responsibility that comes with owning a powerful animal. She noted that while people have a right to choose their companions, that choice carries an absolute liability to ensure the safety of the community. A dog capable of causing serious physical injury must be managed with the utmost care, especially in neighborhoods where children and other pets reside. In her final analysis, the judge found the plaintiff's account to be the one supported by the evidence and the reality of the situation. She entered a judgment in favor of Grecia and Juan Galvin for the full amount of $6,500. It was a victory not just for a vet bill, but for the principle of accountability. As the parties left courtroom, the air felt lighter. For the Galvin family, the trauma of the past weeks began to give way to a sense of peace. They had stood up for Yogi, their coach. They planned to further secure their yard, taking every precaution to ensure such a day would never happen again. Ruben Alonso left with a heavy lesson about the expectations of a pet owner. The court had made it clear that being a responsible neighbor means more than just living in a house. It means ensuring that your choices do not bring harm to those around you. The story ended not with bitterness, but with a renewed understanding of the bonds we share. It was a reminder that our pets are more than just animals. They are family, and protecting them is a duty born of love. The yellow house and the green house remained on their street, but the lessons learned that day in Hall of Justice would linger long after the sun had set, inspiring a community built on truth, responsibility, and the enduring value of a faithful friend. The morning sun had not yet dared to peek over the horizon on the 20th of April, leaving the neighborhood shrouded in a quiet, pre-dawn mist. In this small corner of the world, where houses stood as silent sentinels of long-held memories, two lives were about to collide in a way that no neighbor ever desires. For 15 years, Miss Grecia Galvin and her father, Mr. Juan Galvin, had called the yellow house on the left their home. It was a place of stability, marked by the steady rhythm of their daily routines. Their most faithful companion and theirs whose muzzle had turned a dignified white, reflecting a lifetime of gentle loyalty. 2 doors over to the left stood a greenhouse, the residence of Mr. Ruben Alonso for the past 7 years. Inside the house lived a different energy, embodied by a 4-year-old American bully named Max. Max was a powerful creature, a blend of pit bull and English bulldog, weighing a solid 70 pounds. He was the pride of the Alonso household, which included Ruben, his wife, their children, and his 24-year-old son, Jason. While the Galvins moved with a measured pace of long-term residency, the Alonsos represented a more robust, active presence in the community. On that particular Wednesday morning, at exactly 4:30, the air was crisp and heavy with the scent of damp earth. Mr. Juan Galvin, preparing for a 5 o'clock shift at the same company where his daughter worked, stepped outside to walk Yogi. It was a ritual of care, a small moment of peace before the demands of the workday began. As Mr. Juan opened the metal gate of their driveway, the silence was suddenly shattered. The heavy, rhythmic thud of paws hitting the pavement echoed through the darkness. Before the elderly man could fully turn his head, a shadow detached itself from the gloom. It was Max. The large dog moved with frightening speed, no leash trailing behind him, no collar around his neck to signal human control. Mr. Juan barely had time to register the threat before the 70-pound animal collided with his legs, causing the tumble against the gate. In the chaotic seconds that followed, the peaceful morning became a scene of desperate struggle. Max had pinned Yogi to the ground, his jaws locked in a vicious hold as he shook the smaller, older dog with terrifying intensity. Miss Grecia, stepping out the front door just moments later, was met with the heart-wrenching cries of her beloved companion. From her vantage point on the driveway, she saw her father struggling to intervene and her dog being mauled. There was no sign of Mr. Ruben Alonso in those initial, frantic moments. It was only after the struggle had escalated that Ruben appeared, running from his house toward the commotion. Seeing the gravity of the situation, Ruben grabbed Max by his back legs, attempting to pull him away. The strength of the American bully was so great that Ruben was dragged across the cement and the sidewalk before he could finally gain control of his animal. In a desperate bid for safety, Mr. Juan lifted Yogi by his leash, almost hoisted him onto the roof of a nearby car to escape the reach of the attacker. Even then, Max lunged again, snapping at the air near Mr. Instinct to protect her father, intervened by kicking out to deter the dog, feeling the pressure of teeth against her shoe, though thankfully her skin remained unpierced. The aftermath was a blur of pain and financial strain. Yogi was rushed immediately to the veterinary hospital, where the diagnosis was grim. He had suffered a level 4 bite wound, a serious injury that required extensive surgery and a long period of hospitalization. The bills began to mount, climbing from $4,600 to a staggering $5,800, eventually reaching a total of $6,500. When the case finally reached the hallowed halls of Justice Judy's courtroom, the atmosphere was thick with the search for truth. Judge Judy, a woman of sharp intellect and zero tolerance for evasion, looked down at the assembled parties. Case number 30060, Galvin versus Alonso, was officially in session. Mr. Ruben Alonso stood before the bench, offering a defense that centered on a different version of reality. He claimed that he had been walking Max on a leash, as was his daily habit before work. He insisted that the Galvin's gate had been left open and that it was Yogi who had initiated the conflict by barking and biting at Max's legs. Ruben maintained that the incident was not his fault, nor the fault of his dog, and their veterinary bills. However, the weight of common sense and the testimony of others began to pull at the threads of Ruben's story. Judge Judy, ever sensitive to the dangers of large, powerful animals being left unattended, questioned Ruben closely. When asked if Max had ever been involved in prior incidents, Ruben's answer was a swift and firm no. He claimed no knowledge of any previous aggression. Yet, Miss Gricia presented a different narrative, supported by documentation. She spoke of an incident only months prior, in late January, involving a 10-year-old German shepherd that was being walked on a leash by its owner. According to her account, which she had witnessed, Max had been loose without a collar or leash and had attacked the other dog. She even noted that one of Ruben's twin daughters had come out to retrieve Max at that time. The tension in the courtroom shifted when Ruben's son, Jason, was called to testify. Jason, who had been assisting his father with the installation of security cameras when the Galvins later confronted them with the owner of the German shepherd, admitted to the court that he had heard the allegations of Max biting the other dog. He recalled the owner of the shepherd expressing a desire to avoid conflict, but the fact remained that the incident had been brought to the family's attention. Judge Judy looked at Mr. Ruben Alonso with a gaze that had seen a irresponsibility that comes with owning a breed capable of causing such significant physical injury. To the judge, the idea that a father would not be informed by his children of such a serious event was contrary to the logic of family life. She found Ruben's claim of ignorance to be untruthful. The judge's voice was steady and filled with a sense of justice as she delivered her verdict. She emphasized that as a dog owner, Ruben held an absolute liability to ensure his animal did not harm others. The failure to secure a dog with the capacity to maim was, in her eyes, a profound act of irresponsibility. She entered a judgment in favor of the Galvins for the full amount of $6,500. As the parties left the courtroom, the air felt lighter for the Galvins. For Miss Gricia, the victory was not merely about the money, but about the recognition of the truth. Yogi was more than just a pet. He was a companion of more than half her life, her best friend who had endured weeks of trauma and pain. The resolution provided a path toward healing. For the Alonso family, the judgment served as a somber lesson in accountability. The court made it clear that if such an incident were to happen again, the consequences for Max would be final. It was a call to action to build more secure boundaries, perhaps a new fence, and to approach pet ownership. The story of Galvin versus Alonso was a testament to the value of responsibility and the enduring bond between humans and their animals. It was a reminder that the truth, much like the morning sun, eventually finds its way through the mist to illuminate the world, ensuring that justice is served and that the innocent are protected. The neighborhood returned to its quiet rhythms, but with a renewed understanding that being a good neighbor means more than just living side by side. It means looking out for one another and taking responsibility for the lives we bring into our shared spaces.